Hello guys, so today we're going to talk about security and really primarily things like the passwords we use on the web or a computer and how to make ourselves more secure in general, and then the data that we share. We'll talk a little bit about that. I'm focusing on G Suite Gmail today, so we're focusing on the personal Gmail suite that people use, and G Suite what you use for organizations to manage organizations or businesses. But the same principles apply that we're going to talk about here, but we'll focus on other ones like Office 365 in later tutorials. So without further ado, my Gmail account, right? Some basic things I want to do. First, when I'm in my Gmail, I click on my account and I go to manage my account. This is for the personal side of email security. I'm going to look at, see some security issues found. First place it plops me is this little home screen in security. Bunch of things. So it's doing that to say, hey, look at these things first before you do anything else. So secure your account. I'm going to go look, see what the issues are. Okay, 2 devices that have been inactive for a long time. Why would you want to remove them? Because they're trusted devices. If we haven't been on them in a long time, we might want to remove them. This one, I think, was an old work machine. So you know what? I'm going to remove it. But this one is, I have a lot of machines, so I'm going to leave it. So again, coming in here, a little bit of netiquette, if you like, and removing trusted machines is a good idea. Password checkup. You can go and look at basically all the passwords you're using, and it will rank them. I mean, I could go to that right now, and you know what? I'm sure there's going to be a few. All right, 5 accounts of weak passwords. I'm not going to go into them. They're probably old ones, but again, this will take you through either removing those or changing them. All right, so that's what that's about. Going back here, 2-step verification. Must have that on any email account, particularly Gmail, where you've got a lot of documents and we have our lives in here, okay? People could have everything from social security numbers to God knows what. People just don't know what they put in their documents, you know, so you've got to assume it's high-level stuff. Multi-factor authentication, 2-step verification is that extra step that puts you in a very small group to get hacked. Why? You have a strong password, maybe they get past that, but security is layers. 2-step verification is that layer of something you don't know that you have to get, and they would have to get to hack it, and they're not going to be able to get it because it's going to come up on your phone when you're on a foreign device. Third-party apps, it's good to check this. I know these ones that I've allowed access, but there may be ones that you're like, hang about, I didn't give that app access, or I didn't think I did, and you can remove them, so it's good to check that. Sensitive settings, so you know, I block something here, that's that. So that's some basics, and you know, I want my password these days to be 12 characters, 16 characters better, and change it, you know, every 6 months. So that is for my personal account. Hopefully that helps you there. Now I'm going to jump over here quickly to my business account. Business account, I've got multiple users. I've only got 3 or 4, but you could have tens or hundreds. So here we're on the administrative side, pushing down policy, much more important. We have to hold every user accountable to certain levels, because the weakest user is what's going to compromise the whole tenant. Someone grabs a password for a user, can get in, and there's shared documents, you see the problem. So we set our policies here. We have to think administrator versus user. So we go into admin, and we would go into security. And these are basic things that any account that you set up like this, you're going to want to have on. First, when you hit security, you've got your home screen, alert center. It's going to tell you of any security issues. You're going to want to check this monthly. I may not have much now, but you know, as I go on, I went in here this morning and cleared it out. You're going to get regular things like weird machines you don't recognize. Really good not to get complacent and come in here and check this from time to time. We can talk more about that. Noise versus actual actionable data. We'll talk some other time. Yeah, I mean, activity roles, so we can configure and take action on things. Again, this is a pretty small tenant and the tenant is basically the G Suite that we set up for our users. But I can come in here and I can actually set up roles to help people use things. Going back, password management. Again, you're going to push down policies for all your users. I've set it at 12. That's a minimum. You could have 16 or 20. Obviously don't make it crazy, but 16 is probably even better. Enforce a strong password. Enforce password policy at next sign-in. If you go and change it, it will force the user to change the next sign-in. Never allow password reuse, an obvious one, but you'd be amazed how many people have that, and have it expire after 6 months. So there's some basics there you have to have. Yes, again, just like our personal account, we are going to force people to have two-step verification. Even more important, okay guys, must have on. Allow a user to trust the device so that they don't have to keep putting that code in every time. Yes, that's okay. Methods, any. In other words, text, phone, your Gmail app where it will go into the other device to say, is this you? Or calling your phone, texting, any are fine. And then, yep, allow security codes so people can set up their own codes. That's important. If you've lost your phone and you're having to log into a foreign device, meaning you're at an airport or somewhere, you've got to get into a computer to get something from your email, you might need this code. You can generate those codes, but they're user generated. In other words, they're done on my account up here. They're not done by the administrator because they're personal. Each person would carry those codes. They're like, I don't know, 8, 12 digits long. You print them off, you put them in your wallet. But you've got to watch them. You can't lose them. So that's the basics of how I would set the tenant up for the users and what I would push down as policy, right? All right. So the alerts, we talked a little bit about that. We can set further rules, but if you just want it down and dirty on how you would set this the first time you come in here, yes, you want to enforce hard passwords, you want to enforce multi-factor authentication, you want to enforce passwords will change, and the people will set this up. So that's the basics there. I hope that that helps you on the tenant side, and then you've seen on the personal side. We can talk more about other areas of security, but today we're focusing on passwords, multi-factor authentication in the G Suite and Gmail app. Hope you've enjoyed this, and we'll have more soon.